Imagine working really hard, working 5 to 6 days a week, putting in 10-hour days, trying to get ahead in life, only to find on payday that your pay never comes into your account. Would you be angry if that happened to you? Would you be upset? Would you cry? Would you cry like a little baby? I probably would. I'd be incredibly pissed off if all my hard work did not yield a paycheck. And unfortunately, this is still happening to many drivers in the DoorDash community, especially new drivers. There are predators out there trying to scam drivers to get their paychecks for their hard work by tricking them. It's like that old Nigerian prince email scam that was going around, and people were like, "You're some kind of idiot, mate. You fall for the old Nigerian prince email scam." Everyone knows about that one. And to many veteran and seasoned DoorDash drivers, yes, we know about these scams. We hear about these scams. We see them in forums. We see them posted. We've probably had them happen to ourselves as well. We know about the scams, but new drivers who have just signed up don't. So let's have a look at a news report of what is actually happening here.
Got people used to ordering food and other items, getting them delivered to their doors. So DoorDash drivers stay busy and can make good money.
In tonight's 6 on Your Side report, Mike McKnight tells us that also makes them a target for scams.
About 2 weeks ago, Andrew Dempsey started to dash toward a bigger payday.
Way to make some extra money to take care of your family.
But Andrew got a call that an order had been canceled.
The scammer is talking to you saying, hey, that order that you're going on to has been discontinued. You're going to receive full compensation for the delivery.
And the caller told Andrew to click a link, which a veteran dasher says was a rookie mistake.
When you're new and you're confused and it's late at night, you've been dashing all day, you just go, oh, I guess this is the dasher support, you know. I fell for it too, and when I was new.
Scammers fooled Andrew into providing them access to his DoorDash pay account.
My earnings for last week was $1,100. Gone.
Andrew contacted DoorDash corporate to tell them that scammers had bagged his $1,100 paycheck, but DoorDash answered the call and is giving him that $1,100 back as a one-time courtesy. Andrew received an email from DoorDash escalated support that payment for almost $1,100 is on the way as his mentor delivers a message.
DoorDash will never call you. They'll only send you emails or they'll text.
More than 24 deliveries are all in a day's work for Andrew Dempsey, who may drive almost 500 miles a week.
About 10 hours a day.
He's thankful DoorDash picked up the tab for his earnings stolen by scammers, but he doesn't expect the company to eat the loss again.
Learned a hard lesson the hard way. And thanks for DoorDash and taking the stress off of me.
Without DoorDash repaying him the money lost to scammers, Andrew says he would be late paying his bills. On Your Side in Northwest Omaha, Mike McKnight, 6 News.
DoorDash spokesperson told Mike, quote, "This was a sophisticated scam and we're saddened that a dasher was the target. We've reached out to the dasher to offer our support and to help make them whole. We regularly remind dashers to keep their account information secure and that DoorDash will never request their password or security code."
They continued by saying, quote, "If a dasher ever receives a request for any of their account details, we urge them not to share and to contact DoorDash support immediately."
Look, I think there's definitely some room for improvement here from DoorDash to educate across to new drivers. When you first start driving for these delivery platforms, there's not any training at all, or very little training, just kind of whatever training they need to check the boxes for compliance, be like, yeah, this guy's not going to get a suit. That one there. Cool. But when it comes down to it practically on the job, new drivers aren't aware of these kind of things. And these are financial scams targeting new drivers. Look, I can definitely understand where this is coming from. When I was in my early 20s, I just got a new job and it was in that waiting period of like 2 weeks before you actually start your first day. And I got a phone call come in and the person on the other end of the phone was saying, "This is HR." And I was like, and HR is human resources, of course, guys. So I was like, HR. And they're like, yeah, human resources. This is human resources. And I was like, oh, okay. And confused, I was thinking, okay, it must be the new company calling up. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And they're like, I just need to confirm who you are. I was like, I said my name, my date of birth to confirm it for them. And they asked 1 or 2 other verification questions. And I was stupid enough. I didn't clarify who the person on the phone was. I didn't clarify what company it was or anything like that. and it was a debt collector. So they tricked me, pretending they were human resources. So I can understand where authority comes through on the phone, people get confused. So if you're a new delivery driver and you've just started a job and then you get a phone call coming through while you're active on a delivery and they're saying they are DoorDash, you don't really have a basis to understand, oh, okay, how do I know it's DoorDash? How do I know it's not DoorDash? You just assume that it is DoorDash, the company contacting you. And then they run through the scam that we saw in the news report, and new drivers will fall for it. They think it is the company calling them, and they've got no reason to think not or otherwise. So I can 100% see how this scam works, and I can 100% see why drivers fall for it, especially as they're brand new, they don't know any better. So this is definitely a gap that DoorDash needs to address. They need to have some kind of education or training modules or something just to make people aware of these scams, or to be sending out frequent emails to remind drivers of these scams. They can't rely on YouTubers like myself to be trying to educate the community out there and be like, these scams are happening. They need to take some responsibility and ownership. So drivers contracting to their platforms don't get hurt and wrecked. It just pisses me off, man. I would throttle these scammers. Like, the amount of hard work, people don't understand. Delivery driving, it does take time. It is hard work sometimes to do it, but the most of the hard work is the grind, the hours you put in, when you're really struggling to meet them targets just to hit a decent salary coming through, and then some prick goes and scams your weekly wage off you. Absolutely bullshit. I would throttle them, bro. Throttle them. But what do you guys think? Have you been targeted by these scammers before? Has this happened to you? Leave it down below in the comments. Let me know your stories. Otherwise, is there other things that you do or questions you ask on the phone to kind of address these scammers if they try to target you? Personally, I do not pick up any phone calls when I'm delivery driving. I only do outbound calls or outbound messages to the customer. If my phone starts ringing when I'm delivery driving, I don't pick it up, because sometimes I have picked it up in the past and it's just a telemarketer because I don't know the number. It's an unknown number calling me through, and telemarketers spoof numbers all the time. So it's just a random number. You pick it up and they're like,
I got a Drew P. Wiener here. Anyone expecting a Drew P. Wiener? I hold in my hand a Drew P. Wiener.
Better put it down then, mate.
you're like, fuck off, man. I'm trying to delivery drive. Bullshit. And you just hang up the call. So I don't pick up any calls when I'm driving anymore. If you do pick up calls, leave the reasons below why. I only outbound call to the customer if there is an issue with the order. So I guess in my issues, that kind of saves me from the scammers if they try to target me through, because I just don't pick up their phone calls, they can't trick me. But if you do take the phone calls on, one thing I did address in my previous video about this a year ago was just say, okay, cool, no worries guys, I'll actually give DoorDash a call back in, I'll just quote the order number, and 99% of the time you'll find that person on the phone is going to get very angry, frustrated, and start threatening you. Because they're a scammer, they want to keep you on the line, because they know if you call in DoorDash, you call into support, they're going to be like, oh, there's actually no issue here, continue with the delivery. And also guys, don't continue through to the delivery, get to the customer's address, and then bang on the door, like, haha, you're a scammer, and then, you know, threaten them and stuff like that. Because these scammers are not using their own addresses, guys. They're just picking random addresses in an area. A lot of the time they use apartment buildings with no unit number. So when you get there, they're calling up saying, oh, there's no unit number, we are DoorDash, blah, blah, blah. You might have noticed something off the order, or sometimes there's just piles and piles of deliveries just at the front of a gated community, because they know if they just keep sending it to the one person over and over and over again, it's going to get flagged. That person's going to contact DoorDash and be like, hey, why do you just keep sending food to me? And it's going to, cause an issue that way. But if there's no one aware of the food being delivered, they can just keep targeting drivers over and over again. But yeah, back to purpose, guys. Has this happened to you? What are your thoughts about this all? Have you ever been tricked, or are you too smart to be tricked by these stupid scammers? Leave it down below in the comments. Other than that, guys, you just take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.